What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to yet another YouTube video. My hair is getting so freaking long, dude. Before we get into today's video, I'm not gonna do it today. You guys know what to do. Please like the video. I really appreciate it. It's been helping out a lot lately. I'm starting to get to the numbers I used to be at. Please like the video. That's all I'm gonna say. On to the video. Kind of rocking with like the black on black today, and then the lower camera angle, getting the full shirt. Anyways, today I thought we would look at this show called The View. The View might be one of like the weirdest like news coverage shows out there, in my opinion, because it's definitely credited. You know, they have some merit in Hollywood for sure. And when you think of the show, you're probably thinking of a bunch of moms. And yeah, that's really all it is. Now, I don't really pay a lot of attention to it, so let me take a look here, but there's like two main people you'll probably recognize. So the first you're probably going to think of is either Joy Behar or Whoopi Goldberg, and those are the two people who, you know, you usually will see in the clips that might somehow end up on your Instagram feed. I'm assuming, you know, like maybe like your aunt or something, or your grandma, or maybe your mom watches this show, and it's just really bad. The takes they have are so awful, and it's like, what are you thinking? Also, I was just looking at myself. For like the past 3 videos, I've had like color on my tongue, and I don't know if you've noticed that. It's not that I eat a bunch of candy, but it's just for some weird reason. I literally couldn't believe when I just saw it now. It's like, for some reason, before I film a YouTube video, I eat like a tiny bit of candy, and my tongue is now blue. That is what it is. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I'm just gonna have to roll with it today. Anyways, it looks like you have people like Anna Navarro here, which I'm sure you maybe recognize, and then the only other recognizable one that I see on here is Barbara Walters. So you got Joy, you know, Barbara, Anna, and Whoopi. Anyways, yeah, every time that I see some highlight from the show, I just can't hold back on my cringe. It's so bad. I have to brush my teeth a little bit in my tongue. It's like, that's so annoying. I can't do it. A little better. And the channel knows what they're doing. They pretend like they don't, but they know what they're doing. Just like on YouTube and every other media platform, you got to farm views. And that often means something along the lines of what you might know as clickbait. But really, it's farming drama and clips that are going to get seen by the masses. Not long ago, Whoopi Goldberg was basically banned off of the show for a month while the public forgot about what she did. Take a listen.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
Ethnicity.
Well, they
No,
consider
it's
Jews
about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about
Well,
race.
what is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's not-
after
it's
Jews
not about
and
ideal race.
gypsies
It's
and
But these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Well, they
How
were
do we
after black
They
people
didn't see
too.
them as white.
And they were
But
after
you're missing the
homosexuals.
point.
Basically, what she got canceled for, and rightfully so, was making a comment about the Holocaust, basically saying it wasn't about race. When, you know, I'm not gonna go too in depth to it, that was kind of the whole basis of the Holocaust, was killing people based on race. Yet she sits there and tells people it wasn't a race thing? I don't know. That's, you know, that's not something, I wouldn't personally say that ever. But it did farm a lot of views, and the show gained a lot of attention. It's really interesting to see what's going on in media lately, because media is so much easier to access than it used to be. Everyone can really essentially make pretty high quality videos and share them on the internet. Not that I call TikTok necessarily high quality, but you couldn't do that before. Your best shot at making a home video go viral was on America's Funniest Home Videos, which is a show I loved. I'll be honest, but nowadays you can film something from your room and go viral. The thing is, with so many people entering, you know, media, it's making it really hard to really get yourself to the top and get a substantial amount of viewership. And so places like news outlets that aren't heavily watched anymore. I mean, you know, The View has a decent amount of viewers on YouTube, but their vast audience is from cable television, which you and I probably don't watch very much anymore. Cable television is dying. And so in order to farm views on YouTube so that they can bring viewers over to cable, they are forced to make opinions that are quite stark. So Whoopi Goldberg gets out here and is like, hey, guys, what can I say? The Holocaust wasn't that bad. That's all I'm gonna say, all right? It wasn't, you know, No, that's not what she said, but you get the idea. It wasn't that far off from that. You were basically saying the Holocaust isn't what you've been taught it was. You know, you can't really say that type of thing, especially when you really weren't involved at all in that horrific event. It's just so funny, man. Like, how in the world? How in the world were you like sitting there like, yeah, that sounds like something I'm gonna say? These places, you know, these media places and whatnot, even if it's on TikTok or YouTube, you're forced to do stuff that's extreme and gets a person's attention. And what's really interesting about this, you look back at the 70s and the rock scene, that's when you have bands like Kiss, AC/DC, Aerosmith, you know, these are just a few of the places that really had to do a lot to get on the scene. And a lot of that, you know, getting on the scene is crazy stage antics and looking crazy and wild. It was a formula kind of popularized way back then in order to rocket yourself to stardom. And it's something that we see today being used a lot more frequently. The fact of the matter is, today in media, you either have to be lucky and have some extreme skills and be a very likable person to get up to the top, or you kind of have to clickbait your way through it and do things crazy, and it's not always so easy. So to be a show that's as old as The View is, which it's been going on for quite a while now, in order to stay relevant, you have to kind of do some things that are a little out there. But this isn't me defending them. Not at all. It is quite possibly the worst show ever. Because the thing is, they have a history of doing this type of thing. The fact of the matter is, these people should not be allowed on television. For you and me, you may have been taught in school to really pay attention to what you look at when you're looking at media. Or that's something you've just figured out being someone who's been on the internet basically their whole lives. But for a lot of people, you know, you get into your 40s, 50s, especially beyond, and you watch something and you take that for fact. The people who watch these shows, also the people who are the main voters, especially in the United States of Americas, the old people, watch these shows and are heavily influenced by what they see. And so while the internet may have canceled Whoopi Goldberg, you know, there have been instances before where she hasn't been canceled. She has a list of saying things that are sometimes anti-Semitic as well as other things, yet it was in an era where the internet isn't as popularized as it is today. The thing is this time, apparently, out of all people, Whoopi Goldberg was a bit oblivious to the woke world we live in today. And so, of course, Twitter and kids our age, as well as a list of other people, were like, huh, what you just said wasn't that good of a thing to say, actually. And so it happened to get out there. The cable news got a hold of it, and the cable news was like, yeah, you're canceled as well. And so the platform just said, well, Whoopi, sorry about this. We're gonna have to can you for a month, just a little month. We love you here. You're the reason we get the views we do. Just go away for a month, relax in the Bahamas, you know. Take a chill pill. We can't pay you. Obviously, that would look kind of bad, but just take a little leave and hopefully they'll forget about it in a month. And the truth of the matter is that they did. A month later goes by, Whoopi returns to the scene, doing the same thing as ever. She apologizes and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Because we forget about it. You put someone away for a month, you put away the main view getter, and well, we all do forget. And I don't know. I cannot believe it's a show, because it is definitely very able to influence those, especially above 60 and beyond. But it's also just bad. Like, it's just a bunch of old ladies sitting in front of a camera talking about their opinions and stuff we don't really care about. So I lead into this saying the other lady in the show, that Joyce Behar lady I showed you, well, take a listen to what she said.
To say this thing in the Ukraine,
Yeah.
it's so disheartening. My stomach was all like tight, seeing Martha there, knowing that she's in the middle of it, and knowing, you know, people in the Soviet Union, the people
In Russia.
They don't want this war. They don't want this war. He wants it because he's trying to hold on.
Yeah. Well, I'm scared of what's going to happen in Western Europe, too.
Yeah.
You know, you plan a trip, you want to go there. I want to go to Italy for 4 years. I haven't been able to make it because of what's going to happen there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, this guy, he's a singular sensation in a certain way, you know what I mean? I don't know that the whole...
Yeah, that's right. With this whole Russian-Ukraine conflict, which is what they call it, this whole Russian-Ukraine conflict, and blah, blah. She goes, damn, I'm just so pissed off because me and my husband have been trying to go to Italy for so many years now. We just can't do it, especially now. It just really annoys me. Oh my gosh. Can I just stop so we can go on vacation? Like, whoa, what a tone-deaf thing to say. You know, I don't think there's necessarily a huge problem with you being like, we haven't been able to, you know, go to Italy for the past few years, but then you blame it on the conflict? Like, what? I just don't get it. And it's crazy because there are so many people who will never monetarily get the chance to go ever. We don't care that, oh man, you can't go to Italy? Oh, so sorry about that. But yeah, she probably goes home that day being like, yeah, I know what I did. I said that, and I farmed massive views, baby. They go home and I say, Joyce, great work today, hon. You did amazing. We might have to put you off for a week, but I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Thank you. That's what they're like. That is how it works. It's, can you farm us views? Great. Did you say something morally wrong? Yeah, but it farmed us views, and we're the corporate people here who need you to make us views, so we don't really care. It's like, you really think that we care that you can't go to Italy? I don't give a damn. And why in the world does your 60-year-old viewer give a damn? These people on The View host an awful, awful show that sucks. And for some reason, they get people to view it. And I wish I could tell you why. Because if I'm an old lady, I don't want to hear other old ladies talk. If I'm an old dude, I don't want to hear old ladies talk either. I think there's better content out there. You know, news-wise, not much better, but there's definitely better options out there than The View. I think there are some of the most annoying people out there. I literally cannot stand listening to their voices. It's a really bad show. And if you like them, great. Good for you. I'm glad that you like listening to like 60-year-old moms talk about how they can't go to Italy and making these awful, awful opinions about world history that is objectively viewed as really bad. I'm glad you enjoy that. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, they've never done anything good and blah, blah, blah. Sure, whatever they have. They shouldn't be on the air anymore. Let's be honest. Get some new people on The View. Make it, you know, I don't know, bring somebody else on. I don't want to listen to Whoopi Goldberg and Joyce Behar and freaking whoever else. I don't even remember their names anymore. Barbara, whatever her name is. I don't want to hear them anymore. And luckily I don't have cable television, so I don't really gotta worry about that. But sometimes it pops up on my feed and I read it, I'm like, oh my gosh, you suck. Anyways, just don't watch them, please. And if you see your mom, your dad, or your grandma watching them, just be like, hey, look at, they're not great people. You should watch something else. The View is, not quite possibly, The View is the worst show ever. And that is final. Thank you guys for watching yet another YouTube video. Don't watch The View. Watch my YouTube channel. Give me likes, make me famous, and I will not pay a single one of you guys back. Goodbye, guys.